Hey everyone, Hunter from Ron Cichlids here. Today I'm going to be doing build out video number 5 on the new facility, showing the progress we've made since the last video. If you're new to the channel and you don't know where I'm at, this is our third new facility for our business, breeding and raising and selling African cichlids. So that's what this is all going to be for. We are in the middle stages basically of building it out. I've been showing the progress on the channel, so if you haven't seen the other videos and you want to check them out before watching this, there's 4 other ones. I'll have a link in the description down below with a playlist that has them all. But if you've been following along and you watched my last video, I'm sure the first thing you're going to notice is these glass tanks right here. So I'm going to jump straight in and show you all the new stuff. So first, we've got 30 75 gallons on the first row, the left row of vats that we set up. So last video you saw we had these vats here and these vats, so that hasn't changed, but these glass tanks are put up. So there's 30 of them, 15 on each side, 1 on each vat. These vats are 275 gallons, 75 gallon tanks. Same over here. These are just back to back to each other. But all these tanks are drilled. They don't have the bulkheads and everything in them yet, but what we've been working on since the last video, we've got the bulkheads in, the strainers, so every single tank's got a strainer in there, threads in, the camera's not focusing. And then to a funny pipe fitting, and then to funny pipe, irrigation, sprinkler pipe, and then it goes to the main drain. So this right here is all new, added in. So the vats basically are done now, because you'll see as well, we've got the drippers in. So I got these all drilled out. 1 for the water on all the tanks, and then for the vats, there's 3 air. For the 75s, there'll just be 2 for air. So 3 sponges in these, 1 sponge in those, and then 1 air stone. On a regular airline hose. But yeah, basically all these vats are basically ready to go. We just got to vacuum them all out and then put a plug stopper in the bottom, not to keep water from going in there, just to keep the fish from going in there. All these valves are closed from the outside. There's a big ball valve, so there's no way they're gonna really leak. But move back over here. But yeah, this is a long row. This building's 50 by 80, so we were able to do a very long row compared to the other buildings that we have. But we just put these up here, the 75, so there isn't any plumbing work done for those. Same with the top, no plumbing work for the drippers done yet, but the air and water line up there was done already. The bottom up there is the water. Just gonna be drilling 1 hole in that, and then the top is going to be the air. So that's what I'll be working on next, and you'll see in the next video. The drippers, those blue drippers, will be all up there. Let's see. I'll move on to this next row, show you the progress we've made with that. I'm just going to go back to the front. First I'll show. So all these are painted in the back. So they're painted prior to being put up. They're painted black. We kind of go with the black theme. You can see the stands are all painted black. Over there, kind of blends in, trim's black. Goal posts are black. They hold up the support pipes, but I've been working on getting these painted. These partially for the next row. We've got more that we've got to take off. So from the last video, where I'm walking right now was pretty different. I moved around, rearranged, I'll say, what we had in here. So these glass tanks, the ones over there and the ones down here, were all in the other storage facility we have over here. You probably haven't seen it, except for the original videos we've done over here. But that's 25 by 50, but all these glass tanks are over there. So I pulled them all over here. I moved some of the vats that we had left over back over there. I'll bring those back when we set up this row, because right here there's going to be a row of vats and then a row of 40 gallons. And then once these are done drying, we're going to be putting those up here to finish off this next row of vats. But I've got more tanks I've got to get unwrapped, laid out. These are the remaining 75s just for this next row here. So this is 16 vats on each side, so 32 total. So that's going to be 32 75 gallons. I think I've got 16, no, this is 12 done already. So I've got the rest in there. I've got to get pulled out. We'll get those painted, so this will get cleared up. And then we won't start working on this row for a little while. We're going to start moving fish over before we get that done. But yeah, it'll be vats on the left with 75s above them. So we've got even more 75s over there. It'll be 16 more that we got to bring over. And then on the right side, those 40 gallons. If you didn't see, the 40 gallons were in the front right there. But back to this row. This is the row we were just starting on in the last video. The vats were in, the stands were in, the goalpost I put in. The plumbing for the water was in already on the bottom, but not the top. And then on the top, the 2-inch air was in, but none of the 1-inch. So everything you see up top basically is new. Same with the other side, unistrut on the bottom, supporting the pipes, because this is a 8-foot stretch. So we got to support that, make sure it doesn't bow too much, but the 1-inch water pipe is laying right in it. And then on top of that, there's a 1-inch air line that runs on that. So you see on top, it's all screwed down to keep it in place. And the air comes from the top, down below, goes to the right, goes to the left. Air comes from above, water down below. If you've been watching the videos, you know that. We keep it separately, makes it easier for running PVC and whatnot. But this row is ready for 75 gallons. As soon as those are painted, I'll be able to move those 75 gallons on the floor as soon as I got somebody to help me move them. But we got the drippers done for most of the vats on this side, except for the end ones. So all these blue drippers are threaded in, good to go. This row should be done before long. And then same with the other side. I just got to drill the dripper holes for the top too. But if you haven't seen these before, this is what runs all the either sponges, air stones for the air, and then the water. We just open it up, and then you have a gradual stream of water, whether you want to have it drip in for a small amount of water or turn it up all the way so a bunch of water goes in there. We can fully manipulate that to decide how much water we want to go to each tank. So the vats will get a lot more water compared to the 75s and the 40s. I think the 40s are going to be the smallest tanks we have over here, but we usually shoot for 25 to 100% new water every day. But all the water will be coming straight from our well. So these pipes all go to their designated rows, vats, tanks, whatever. So that's about it for these two rows. We've been working on, well, Ron's been working on the lights, a lot of the electrical. We're gonna have lights above each row of tanks, and then I think down the middle. So I'm sure he'll do a video, we'll do a video later on showing all that, and then we're gonna have a big timer back here with all of them. They're gonna come on at different times. Back here, made some progress. I've got the, let's see, I've got more of the 1¼ inch pipe for the main water. So this right here, this is the main water line. This feeds both the manifolds, and I'll show you what the manifold is. It's this here. So the main water goes into the manifold, and then it gets distributed to valves that go to designated rows of vats. I'll show you real quick on this side what I mean. That one hasn't been done yet because we haven't gotten the other rows finished yet, but see, this goes to the left for its row, this one goes to the right, this one goes to the right. They all go to different rows. Well, not this one. This one's one of the main feeds. It goes up. So water comes in from outside the building, in, across, up, over, and then to that other manifold. Just so you kind of have an idea of how the plumbing works. But you can see each one goes across to its own row, up, feeds each one. So that's what I meant by water. The water stays in the ground, see? And then the air, all above, out of the way. And then the rest of the 3/4 inch drain water, well, let me figure out a better word for it, wastewater, I'll say, pipe. So we do sponges and other stuff where we've got to pump water that is full of fish poop, whatever, out of the building. We don't want to going into the pond, so we've got a ditch in the front yard that it'll pump into. So you'll see here, I've got it. It's complete now because it's capped off there. But this will be the last port that it can get tied into. So when we're doing sponges, just a garden hose screws right into that, and then you just turn on the pump, and it will pump down, across, and out to the front of the building, getting that nasty water away from the building. But if we had a garden or something, we'd pump it into a big barrel and use it for that. It's got a ton of nutrients in it. That's why we don't want to put it in the pond. It's just going to make plants, algae, well, main thing is algae blooms and whatnot just go crazy. We wouldn't be able to keep it under control. And we're planning on having a lot of fish out there. They're going to make enough waste alone. So don't want to go overboard with putting more nutrients in that water. But I also got basically the entire back for the 3-inch main water drain done too. So outside of this building's a pond. Right here is the drain that goes to the pond. So comes in, funnels in from the left to there, and then funnels in to the right from there. So you see this is for that row, goes up. So each tank drains into that, the 3-inch drain, and then the back master drain, and then goes out the back. So you see leading up to this, I added in this T right here. This was the final T to connect the whole back. So now this row over here against the wall is fully tied in, so it goes in across to that. So this is gonna go to this. I have it already measured out to where the vats and tanks are gonna be here. So, and this side right here basically is where the vats are gonna start and go down. And then on the other side of this 3-inch, there's gonna be the 40 gallons on their racks. And then that row is gonna go down to the end. So that's done. The reason why I had to put that in now, if you're wondering, is because we're gonna set up we're not gonna set up this row yet, and we're planning on turning on the other rows and having fish and having water in them. So if I didn't have this in, the water would just drain out here. So I had to put that 2-inch in, and then I'm just gonna put a 90 going up to make sure it doesn't flow this way, and then I'll be able to have, I'll be able to run most of this building without having to set up this row. So it'll save us some time. If we were to build out this row, we would have to delay for probably another month or 2 before moving fish. And it's starting to warm up here in South Carolina. It's getting to 85 plus during the day, and it's time to move fish to this building. So we were kind of waiting because we didn't want to heat this building too much, especially during the early spring, winter, because it can get expensive. And then if we're not going to have enough fish in here to make a whole lot of money back for the electricity, it just doesn't make sense. So it'll be so warm now that the AC will only need to kick on a little bit, not a whole lot. We heat it to 85 during the night. So yeah, if we run it during the winter, it can get pretty pricey with not many fish in here. But yeah, we'll be ready probably in by, I think, within a month, I'd say, to add fish. The next video, you should be able to see 75s up here, the drippers all done, I'd say, for the top for both sides. Let me think, the vat should all be cleaned out. I may have water going to some too. I plan on flushing out some tanks, just letting the water cycle run through a few times over before moving fish. But like I said, probably within a month or so, I'll be able to, hopefully sooner. The only thing we're kind of waiting on now is to get the blowers hooked up. Once that's done, I could, like I said before, I could get water going to these now if I wanted to. because they're ready to go. I just got to flush these lines, get the little shavings and whatnot out, and then one other thing was we got to do a lot of cutting for the airline hose, and then setting up the sponge filters and whatnot. So that'll take like a day itself to get set up. But that's about it. That's what we've been working on. I think it's coming along. It's definitely coming along. So I can't wait to start moving fish over here. I'm gonna start giving them a lot bigger tanks than over there. If you haven't seen it already, we've got some huge 750 gallon ponds. I haven't showed these since the first 2 videos, but gonna have lots of fish moving over here, growing up, going into these tanks, and then with all these other ones, I'll have plenty of room. So, but that is it. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll answer you. I think I covered basically everything I wanted to in this video, showing everything. Still a few tweaks we need to make to some things, but like I said, it's coming along. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to follow along. If you've been watching, following along so far, you don't want to miss out now, because we're in the final stretches of. I know everybody wants to see it. People like watching the build out, but people love seeing the fish. So if you've been waiting, holding out to see the fish, you're in the home stretch. You'll within a month, I'll say, I'll show a video as we start moving fish over here. So you'll be able to see some fish. But again, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.